Hello, in this short video we're going to take a look at using the preference editor to set the title bar of a 2D view in Erdas Imagine so that the color of the title bar reflects the security classification level of the displayed imagery. By default, if we go ahead and open a raster layer, an image and display it into a 2D view, you can see the title bar does reflect the classification level. In this case the data is unclassified, but the title bar itself is just the default yellow active color that would be used to color any active panel in the Windows display. So instead we wish to have a visual indication to anybody using the data at this workstation or who happens to be walking by to see what the classification level of the data being exploited actually is, and make that more visually representative by setting a changing color depending on the level of classification of the particular data set. So let's go ahead and remove this image from the 2D view. So now let's bring up the preference editor by going up to the File tab and selecting the Preferences option. This launches the preference editor. We're going to come down to the viewing node in the tree here, expand that so we can see the categories in that under that node, and we are going to select the security colors category. Now in this category we can go ahead and set up so that the 2D view changes the color of the title bar depending upon the security classification. First of all, we have to turn that overall option on just by clicking on the checkbox for Use Security Colors for Active 2D View Title Bar. And then if we left click in one of the color patches, we can pull down a menu. So for example, on this particular option, this is the background color for unclassified imagery, and we could set that to a different background color. We're actually going to keep the default colors because those are the ones that are normally used. As well as the background color, we also have a option for selecting the text color, and obviously you want a color of text that contrasts nicely with the background color so it's legible and readable. And as well as this standard list of colors to just choose from, rather than clicking on the down arrow, if you actually left click in the color patch itself, that will start the color chooser. This gives a much broader array of different choices, menu items and lists of standard colors, as well as the ability to pick any sort of random color that you might desire. We're going to close that out, but we have turned this particular preference on, so we actually want to go ahead and save that change and close out the preference editor as it currently stands. So let's see what effect those changes in the preference editor have had. I'm going to come up to my file, look in my recent documents, select that same image that I displayed earlier on. However, this time when I display that particular image, you'll notice that based on the security clearance setting in the header of this particular image, the software has gone in and read that level out of the header information, and based on those preferences that we reviewed, it has changed the color of both the title bar background and of the text to reflect that particular classification level, which is unclassified. So now you've got a very strong visual representation as well as just the text indicating what security clearance the data is that I'm currently looking at. Unfortunately, of course, for hopefully obvious reasons, I can't show you any other classification levels, but if the imagery had different levels, then those different colors would be reflected on the title bar. So that's a quick overview of how to use the preference editor. And the preference editor does have a whole wide array of customization options to tailor Erdas Imagine to your day-to-day work. It's well worth a look through the options that are in there. I just showed one very, very small area for setting the title bar security classification level colors. Thank you.